The relationship between the former songwriting partners became increasingly volatile as artistic disagreements emerged, coupled with clashing views on how the band should operate commercially. Things only deteriorated further following the Beatles' bitter breakup in 1970. The once close collaborators began taking aim at each other through a series of pointed songs. In the aftermath, Paul McCartney filed a lawsuit in the High Court in December 1970 to officially dissolve the band's legal partnership. The court ruled in his favor in March 1971, but the damage to his relationships with the other Beatles, particularly John Lennon, was evident. Fortunately, time began to heal old wounds. By the mid-1970s, Paul and John had reconnected and even found themselves jamming together during a recording session in 1974. There was even a brief moment in 1976 when a reunion seemed possible. An offer of $3,000 was made for the Beatles to perform live on the American TV show Saturday Night Live. Though they ultimately didn't take the stage, the offer remains a quirky footnote in their shared history. Paul later expressed his relief at having reconciled with John before his untimely death in 1980. According to Far Out magazine, Paul recalled being grateful for the good times they shared in those final years. He remembered their last meeting fondly, noting how friendly and light it was. They even talked about something as simple and comforting as baking bread. John's murder sent shockwaves across the world. For Paul, it sparked one of his most heartfelt musical tributes, Here Today, released on his 1982 album Tug of War. The song, imagined as a conversation between him and John, served as a way to express the things left unsaid and to finally lay their past conflicts to rest. In an interview with the Los Angeles Times in 1982, Paul reflected on the regret that often accompanies sudden loss. He spoke of wishing he could have seen John one last time to make peace and express how deeply he cared. The song, he said, was his way of asking, did we really need to keep the feud going? A question they sadly never had the urgency to address while John was alive. Back in the Beatles' heyday, they lived with a sense of invincibility, never imagining that such moments could be finite. Here Today has since become a staple in Paul's live performances. Yet, as he revealed in a 2004 interview with The Guardian, singing it can still be overwhelming. He admitted that at least once per tour, the emotion catches him off guard. During a show in Gijón, Spain, he found himself spontaneously repeating the line, "I love you," during the song, a line he had only ever rehearsed during sound checks. But when it came time to deliver the final verse, he found himself unable to continue, overcome with grief and the memory of his lost friend. Paul also shed light on the inspiration behind a particularly poignant line, "What about the night we cried?" because there wasn't any reason left to keep it all inside. He recalled a night in Key West in 1964 when a hurricane had forced the band to delay a concert in Jacksonville, Florida. With nothing to do, they drank heavily and stayed up late into the night. He remembered getting so drunk he ended up talking to the toilet bowl. In that vulnerable, alcohol-fueled moment, he and John broke down in tears, overwhelmed by unspoken emotions. It was one of the rare times they openly expressed how much they meant to each other, something, Paul noted, that Northern men like them almost never did.